ACEN News. ACEN starts building 300 MW Pag-IBIG solar project in Zambales. ACEN Corp. announced on Wednesday that it recently started the construction of its P16 billion 300 MW MW Pag-IBIG 2 solar farm in Zambales. In a regulatory filing, the Ayala-led listed energy company said the solar farm will be located within the proximity of Acen's 63 MW Pag-IBIG 1 solar project. This expansion of our Pag-IBIG solar assets comes at an exciting time for ACEN's Philippine operations, as we are relying on our core market to boost our energy transition efforts in the region. Jose Maria P. Zabalita, Chief Development Officer of ACEN, said in a media release. The P16 billion estimated cost for Pag-IBIG 2 solar farm includes the construction of a 1,200 MW transmission line, and a 540 MW peak MWP, high-efficiency solar panels, which will be supplied by Seraphim, a module manufacturer that also specializes in solar photovoltaic products. Pag-IBIG 2 Solar is the first of several new plants to commence with major construction works this year, and the need to sustain this accelerated pace towards the exponential growth of the renewables space is on top of our agenda, Mr. Zabalita said.
ACEN tapped ERS Energy Private. Limited and Global Electric Power Development Corp. GEC as the project's engineering, procurement and construction (EPC) contractors. ERS is the offshore supplier while GEC is the onshore construction contractor.
The solar project is expected to generate 450 gigawatt-hours (GWh) of renewable energy per year. With the output of Pag-IBIG 1, the solar farm can generate enough power to supply electricity to 139,000 households and reduce 350,000 tons of carbon emissions per year. The renewable energy firm also said that the construction of Pag-IBIG 1 solar resulted in an addition of 2,200 green energy jobs in Zambales, helping stir the local economy and improve national prosperity as the country gears up for a post-pandemic era. As ACEN continues to expand its renewables portfolio across the region, the company continues to invest in people and the wider society it operates in. Understanding that ACEN's success in forging a sustainable energy path depends on its ability to engage with various stakeholders and its significant role to drive positive social change, ACEN said in the media release. It said the development of Pag-IBIG 2 will help the company achieve its target to increase its renewable energy portfolio and help the government's goal to increase renewables share in the country's energy mix to 35% by 2030. The company aims to be one of the Philippines' top reliable partners in energy security, effectively harnessing the enormous potential of renewable energy resources, ACEN added. In a separate disclosure on Wednesday, ACEN said that it received 500 million shares from Solar Philippines Power Project Holdings, Inc.
To recall, on January 22, 2021, ACEN together with Solar Philippines signed an agreement for a proposed joint venture for solar power plants in central Luzon.
In line with this, ACEN and an affiliate of Solar Philippines, Provincia Investments Corp., signed a P1 billion omnibus loan and security agreement. The agreement has a repayment date of July 2, 2026, and secured by a pledge over shares owned by Solar Philippines in SP New Energy Corp. SPNEC, formerly Solar Philippines Nueva Ecija Corp. Acen said that its executive committee had approved the execution of definitive agreements where Acen will receive the shares from Solar Philippines in SPNEC. At the local bourse on Wednesday, shares in the company gained 15 centavos or 2.04% to end at P7.50 apiece. Mer Rlc News. Mer Rlc to start sourcing 670 megawatts from spot market. ABOITIZ Power Corp. Aboitiz Power will no longer supply power to electricity distributor Manila Electric Company, Mer Rlc, as their Emergency Power Supply Agreement, EPSA, ended on Wednesday. We confirm the end of our 30-day emergency power supply agreement with Mer Rlc, which takes effect today, January 25, Aboitiz Power said in a statement. Separately, Mer Rlc said that starting Thursday, it would source its requirement of about 670 megawatts (MW) from the wholesale electricity spot market (WESM). The capacity is supposed to be covered by its power supply agreement (PSA) with South Premier Power Corp. (SPPC), but this was subjected to a temporary restraining order (TRO) issued by the Court of Appeals (CA). Mer Rlc is closely working with the Department of Energy and all relevant industry players to ensure adequate supply and protect its customers from volatile and higher WESM prices, which is especially crucial with the scheduled shutdown of the Malampaya natural gas facility next month and the anticipated increase in demand during the summer months, the company said. The Malampaya gas field is expected to go under a maintenance shutdown from February 4 to 18. In December, Mer Rlc secured a 300 MW EPSA with a unit of Aboitiz Power to partly replace the capacity that SPPC, a unit of SMC Global Power Holdings Corp., stopped supplying. Mer Rlc's EPSA with Aboitiz Power is effective from December 15, 2022 until January 25, 2023 for a rate of P5.96 per kilowatt-hour, kWh. The power was sourced from Aboitiz Power's GN Power Dinginan Limited Co.
Mer Rlc sought the EPSA after SPPC, the administrator of the natural gas-fired power plant in Iligan, Batangas, stopped supplying power to Mer Rlc effective December 7 last year.
SPPC's PSA with Mer Rlc was agreed upon in 2019 for a period of 10 years. It covers about 670 megawatts of capacity and is priced at only P4.2455 per kilowatt-hour. Last year, SMC Global Power sought a temporary rate increase, jointly filed with Mer Rlc, saying that SPPC and another unit San Miguel Energy Corp. SMEC, incurred a combined loss of P15 billion. The rate increase was meant to recover part or P5 billion of the unit's losses. The company cited a change in circumstance when surging fuel costs breached the price range contemplated during the execution of the contracts with Mer Rlc. However, the Energy Regulatory Commission (ERC) denied the petition, saying it had no basis as their PSA is a fixed-rate contract. SPPC's parent firm SMC Global Power then sought the TRO to halt the implementation of the PSA between SPPC and Mer Rlc. The CA issued the order on November 23, 2022, and will be effective for 60 days. On Wednesday, ERC Chairperson and Chief Executive Officer Mona Lisa C. Dimolanta said in a Viber message to Business World that the CA agreed to extend the effectivity of the TRO until the end of this month. The Court of Appeals conducted a hearing about 2 weeks ago on the SPPC petition for writ of preliminary injunction, basically an extended TRO, she said. I believe the extension is until the end of the month.
Ms. Dimolanta added that the effect of the Aboitiz Mer Rlc EPSA was yet to be seen. We have no basis yet to ascertain rate impact from it or its expiration.
The impact of sourcing more power from WESM, which is volatile and typically costs more, was seen in the January power bill of consumers.
Mer Rlc announced earlier this month that it will increase the overall rate due to an increase in the power generation charge and the completion of refunds to consumers. Mer Rlc has assured its customers that it will again exhaust all measures to continue supplying stable and reliable electricity at the least cost under the current circumstances.
Mer Rlc said that it requested Aboitiz Power to extend the term of its ESPA.
We remain grateful for the opportunity to contribute to the delivery of a much-needed energy supply covering the Mer Rlc franchise. In the event that Mer Rlc launches another competitive selection process (CSP), where the terms of reference will be reasonable, Aboitiz Power will certainly participate, Aboitiz Power said.
Mer Rlc's controlling stakeholder, Beacon Electric Asset Holdings, Inc., is partly owned by PLDT Inc. Hastings Holdings, Inc., a unit of PLDT Beneficial Trust Fund subsidiary Media Quest Holdings, Inc., has an interest in business world through the Philippine Star Group, which it controls. RLC News. RLC Residences launches 50-floor upscale condo.
The residential division of Robinson's Land Corp. RLC has launched the first tower of La Ponte Residences located in a 31-hectare master planned estate in Pasig City. The 50-story tower, which is set to rise in Bridgetown Estate, will house 431 condominium units with varying sizes, from 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and 3-bedroom to penthouse units.
It is RLC Residences' first in 2023, signifying its optimism about registering growth this year despite rising inflation.
We had a very good 2022. Actually, 2022 is a record-breaking year for us. We feel that our business is growing, and we are very positive in 2023, said Stephanie Ann C. Go, Business Development and Design Head of RLC Residences, on the sidelines of the launch on Wednesday.
La Ponte Residences is considered to be under the luxury market as it is targeted to more affluent investors. We are targeting the more affluent market, Ms. Go said, adding that the project is for those with a little bit more income. We are also trying to target the empty nesters. Those who are living in big houses right now with kids who are already married, and who seek to downsize their homes. This would be a perfect project for them, Ms. Go said.
The tower's 1-bedroom unit will have 46 square meters square m of floor area, while a 2-bedroom unit will have 104 square m. Up to 127 square m. Floor area. A 3-bedroom unit will have 150 square m. Up to 197 square m. Floor area. The initial prices of the 1, 2 and 3-bedroom units are around P14 million, P32 million and P60 million, respectively, while the prices of penthouse units will range from P80 million to P100 million. The project is the second for RLC Residences in the estate after Cirrus, a 40-story residential condominium right beside La Ponte Residences. La Ponte Residences will allocate 3 floors for amenities. On the 3rd floor, the tower will house a clubhouse, kids' play area, function rooms, gym, and lounge areas, among others. On the 26th level or the mid-level amenity floor, homeowners will have a yoga room, landscape areas, and lounge spaces. The roof deck of the tower will have open spaces for lounging and reading, and function rooms with a kitchen area, among others. The first tower is expected to be turned over to buyers by the second quarter of 2029. It will be followed by a 50-story tower and the final tower of La Ponte Residences.
CHP News. Cemex Philippines controlling stockholder sets P2B tender offer.
Cemex Holdings Philippines Inc., the local unit of global cement giant Cemex Group of Mexico, announced a P2 billion tender offer to purchase a portion of shares held by minority stockholders, triggering an intraday share price jump of almost 20% on Wednesday.
The listed company's controlling stockholder, Cemex Asian Southeast Corp., will bid for 1.61 billion shares at P1.30 each, which will shrink the company's public float from nearly 22% to just above the minimum 10% required by the Philippine Stock Exchange.
The tender offer is proposed to be conducted for the purpose of increasing and consolidating the bidder's interests in Cemex Philippines. The bidder further stresses that the tender offer is not being conducted for delisting purposes, Cemex Philippines said in a stock exchange filing on Wednesday.
According to the company, the offer will run from February 16 through March 16 this year. Cemex Philippines shares, which have surged 90% since the start of the year, were up sharply the day before the tender offer was disclosed. On Wednesday, the company's share price closed 13.37% up to P1.16 following the announcement. In the disclosure, Cemex Philippines said the tender offer would also provide an opportunity for existing public shareholders to realize their investment at a premium to the current trading price of the outstanding common shares. Despite recent gains, Cemex Philippines is still down 89% from its 2016 initial public offering price of P10.75 per share. According to the company, the tender offer price was set a premium above its one-month volume-weighted average price, VWAP, of P0.772 per share and the one-year VWAP of P0.791 per share. Cemex Philippines had a market value of P15.65 billion on Wednesday. Its two cement plants, Apo Cement in Nag City, Cebu and Solid Cement in Antipolo City, Rizal, have a total installed capacity of 5.7 million tons per year. Cemex Asian Southeast Corp. is a wholly owned indirect subsidiary of Cemex España S.A., which is owned by Mexico's Cemex S.A.B. de CV.
PHN News. Holding company Phinma Corp. has highlighted the need for the government and the private sector to work together to improve the country's educational standing. GOAT. Private sector need to work together to improve quality of PH education, Ramon del Rosario. By Eileen Mencia's holding company Phinma Corp. has highlighted the need for the government and the private sector to work together to improve the country's educational standing. We in the private sector believe that we can contribute to changing the course of history. Private education institutions can complement the public sector in improving the quality of education in the country, said Ramon del Rosario Jr., Chairman and CEO of Phinma.
In the 2018 Program for International Student Assessment, PISA, students from the Philippines ranked the lowest among 79 countries in terms of reading comprehension and second lowest in both mathematical and scientific literacy. This, despite the steady increase in education spending over the last 25 years.
Spending on education increased by 6.4% annually in the last 15 years alone, according to the Philippine Institute for Development Studies.
While the public sector's education spending per person in the country has grown robustly over the past 25 years, We continue to perform poorly in internationalized standardized student assessments. This is a clear indicator that we have much to do and increasingly little time to do it, Del Rosario said.
For his part, PHNMA Education President and CEO Chito Salazar said the public and private sectors can complement each other.
The public and private sectors need to work together to maximize efforts, facilities, and resources to solve the learning crisis, Salazar said. Asian Development Bank education specialist for higher education Mi-Kyung Shin said Korea and Japan have shown that private education plays a critical complementary role in improving access, quality and relevance of higher education.
CTS News. In an interview with Usapang Bilyonario with Cs Orange Drilon, which aired Monday on CNN Philippines, Lee said CTS Global, which is run by his son Lawrence, would invest in new markets where it sees huge growth potential.
Edward Lee's CTS Global eyes new markets amid growth push. CTS Global Equity Group of Kernel Financial founder and chairman Edward K. Lee is setting its sights on new markets offering attractive growth opportunities. In an interview with Usapang Bilyonario with Cs Orange Drilon, which aired Monday on CNN Philippines, Lee said CTS Global, which is run by his son Lawrence, would invest in new markets where it sees huge growth potential.
So we are in the US, Hong Kong, Indonesia and Japan, not under call, but under CTS Global. My kids are the ones running that business. As long as they feel that there are opportunities, they go there, Lee said.
CTS Global debuted on the Philippine Stock Exchange in April last year, raising $1.3 billion to fund its stock trading business.
Now, it's just a startup company. It takes a while to scale up. I really believe that if we continue to do what we want to do and do the best we can, over time lalaki naman yan, he said.
CTS Global's long-term goal is to derive 75% of its revenues from the global markets. Ayala Group to own shares in Leviste's SPNECACEN Corp. The listed energy platform of the Ayala family, is set to acquire shares in businessman Leandro Leviste's SP New Energy Corp. SPNEC.
In a stock exchange filing, ACEN said it would acquire from Solar Philippines 500 million SPNEC shares as part of an omnibus loan and security agreement they signed in June 2021.
The shares serve as prepayment for part of the loan's principal, and payment of interest and arrangement and security amendment fees in consideration for the company releasing its pledge over shares owned by Solar Philippines in SPNEC. ACEN said definitive agreements for the transaction with Solar Philippines and affiliate Provincia Investments Corp. PIC, had already been signed.
ACEN President John Eric Francia has been tasked to approve the final terms and conditions of the definitive agreements.
Under the Omnibus Agreement, the loan, which had a repayment date of July 2, 2026, was secured by a pledge over shares owned by Solar Philippines in SPNEC, formerly Solar Philippines Nueva Ecija Corp. B News. Boulevard Holdings Inc. B. of businessman Josel Panlilio is pushing through with its planned expansion in Siargao. Josel Panlilio's Boulevard Holdings to make a splash in Siargao with planned P100M land acquisition. Boulevard Holdings Inc. B. of businessman Josel Panlilio is pushing through with its planned expansion in Siargao. In a regulatory filing, B said it secured board approval for the purchase of land located on Stargate Island.
The land has an area of 5,216 square meters worth around P103 million. Last year, B identified Siargao Island as its next expansion target following the sale of a big chunk of the hotel and resort operators Puerto Azul property in Ternate, Cavite to ultra-billionario Enrique K. Razon Jr. for P991.545 million.
B, through its subsidiaries, owns and operates Fridays resorts in Boracay and Puerto Galera, Oriental Mindoro.
Monde News. Monde Nissan to acquire 15% stake in Figaro Coffee Group. Monde Nissan Corp said on Thursday it would acquire 15% of Figaro Coffee Group Inc. for P820.3 million.
The acquisition is equivalent to P1 per share, the Lucky Me instant noodle maker told the stock exchange. Proceeds of the subscription shall be used by Figaro to finance its expansion plans, Monde Nissan said. We are excited with the opportunity to become shareholders in the Figaro Coffee Group as it provides a greater exposure to the food service sector, which we view as potentially attractive avenue for further growth both here in the Philippines and abroad, Monde Nissan CEO Henry Soe Santo said. We believe our scale may help enhance the procurement capabilities of the Figaro Group, which is rapidly growing, he added.
Monde Nissan's leadership in the food sector, strength in manufacturing, and timeless brand equity can help solidify Figaro's position as a very strong and stable F&B company, Figaro Coffee Group Chairman Emeritus Jerry Liu said. Figaro also operates and franchises brands such as Angel's Pizza, Tienmas as well as Café Portofino. It became public in 2022. Meanwhile, Monde Nissan Corp's portfolio also includes Skyflakes, Fita, corn and other baked goods. It listed on the Philippine Stock Exchange in 2021.